Welcome to this video on the standard hydrogen electrode. In order to produce this electrode or half cell, we need to generate some hydrogen gas, and so we've got in this flask on the left some sulfuric acid reacting with zinc granules. It's got some copper sulfate in it to make the reaction faster. You can see the hydrogen gas coming out of here at the top of the flask, and it's passing through the orange tube, through an aspirator containing potassium manganate 7, which is just oxidizing any sulfurous gases that have been produced, and then over across through the pipe and now into the main setup, which we can see here. In the beaker here we've got some 1 mole per decimeter cubed hydrochloric acid, and then bubbling into the beaker through this pipe at the top is some hydrogen gas at a pressure of 1 atmosphere. And inside this housing we've got a platinum wire, and at the bottom we can see some porous platinum. That's going to be taking the electrons out of this half cell in a moment. In order to use the standard hydrogen electrode to measure standard electrode potentials, we need to connect the standard hydrogen half cell to a second half cell, and here I've chosen a half cell between zinc 2+ ions in aqueous solution. So we've got a 1 mole per decimeter cubed solution of zinc sulfate here, and we've also got a piece of zinc. So that's going to be an equilibrium between zinc and Zn2+ aqueous ions. We want to know the standard electrode potential of that. We've connected them up with a salt bridge here, which allows the passage of ions between the half cells, and now we need to connect them up to a high resistance voltmeter in order to actually measure the potential difference between the two half cells. Now when we do this, we're always going to connect the standard hydrogen electrode up to the negative terminal, and the test half cell always goes into the positive terminal. And the minute I do that, I can see the voltage pops up at minus 0.72 or minus 0.73 volts. So here's another example of the standard hydrogen electrode in action. This time I've got a 1 mole per decimeter cubed solution of copper sulfate on the right, still the same standard hydrogen electrode on the left, and I've also got a piece of copper. So this is the equilibrium between copper 2+ and copper metal. In a moment I'm going to turn on the voltmeter. If I turn on the voltmeter now, I actually get a reading of 0. And the reason for that is because I don't yet have a salt bridge connecting up my two half cells. And this is really important. So what I've got here is this. Here's the salt bridge that I've just produced. Bit of chromatography paper soaked in saturated potassium nitrate solution, and I just pass that between the two using tweezers. Just make sure it's in contact with both solutions. You sometimes need to bring them quite close in order to make that happen, but I think it's now in both. And then now if I turn on the voltmeter, I should instantly get a reading, this time of 0.31 volts.